Hello everybody, I hope everybody's having a great day today. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Okay, finally tackling the eyeshadow palettes. Now what I'm dreading about this is that once I've done this, I have to input them all into my spreadsheet. Everything else has been inputted except for this. And the filming of this is a little precarious, so I hope you will bear with me. Let's get going. Okay, we're going to start with these two. I used one fairly recently in a video because it was a chopping block, and as beautiful as they are, I do not use them. As you can see, and you're only seeing half the drawer, I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, a lot for me. And these, as beautiful and as creamy as these are, I'm just not using them. I'm just not. So it's a waste for me to keep them. So they're going to be decluttered. Let's give you a little quick swatchy swatch of this one as well. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now these first few that I'm showing you are ones that I have decided to declutter. So that's why it's so much easier. I just did a fairly recent video about this palette also. And it's also, I can't even remember what I said on the video, but as far as I'm concerned, it was on the chopping block. And I don't use it. I've had it for a long time, and as beautiful as these shadows are, I don't use them. So Boudoir Noir. Unfortunately, I didn't spend the ColourPop price because I got this off of Glambot, so it's not that heartbreaking. It just took me a while to get it, but I finally did. What else is in here? Oh, Blown Smoke. I love this one. And because I got Smoky from Beauty Bay, I can finally declutter this one because this one is old. They're not as creamy anymore, as beautiful as these are. And they still seem to be performing well. And if I ever get a chance to put in another ColourPop order, I will replace it. But this one is unfortunately garbage material. Okay, this one is going to be controversial. Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 2. But the last time I used it, the shimmers were just icky. I mean, okay, they look good in a swatch, but they just, I don't know, they just didn't seem right. And I have another palette that is a color dupe. I will not say it is a dupe of the palette, but color wise it's similar, and it's definitely an alternative. So we shall see how that one swatches. But Patrick Ta, no, it's got to go. Okay, now I am very pretty and shimmery. Now here's another one that's going to be controversial, and for me it has been. I've been hemming and hawing about it for at least a year, but I think I'm going to bite the biscuit and it's going to go. And it's this Pat McGrath, not last year but the year before, I believe. And I don't use it. I just don't. They are beautiful. They seem to be just as creamy. Little dry because I haven't used them, but you dig in there and they are nice. Never used this color. But they are beautiful. They are creamy. They are the pigmentation that I like. But I'm just done. I'm done. I am done. I don't have much patience for something that I just don't want to keep. Okay. We're into the small ones because it's just going to be easier at this stage to start with that. Some more Pat McGrath, and these are the little ones. The Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette. This is Bronze Bliss. This, my dear friends, is not going anywhere. This is absolutely beautiful. And of course I had to pick up a topper. Like, why do I need the big one with these colors when I have this little one which seems even shinier? So that one is staying. I will show you the actual layout properly once I'm done, so at the end of this video. Okay, so I want to see if I can show you my collection. I think it's been a long time since I've done this. So I've got my little beautiful rack of small eyeshadow palettes right there on a nail polish rack, and that seems to work. I like being able to see them like that instead of having them at the end of a row. I didn't like the way that was. I found it difficult to choose. Not like, I have enough troubles figuring out what I want to use, so let's make it easier. So there's the eyeshadows, unless I am able to add on a little clip to show you what the layout is like. Might do both. We'll see what the editing Bridget does. And then this one is called Nude Allure. And I just saw Melissa Nadaline talk about these, and these are also very beautiful. And not going anywhere. Not anywhere. It's staying. It's got a home here. Doesn't take up much space. Doesn't take up much room in my head either. So they are staying. Okay, Pat McGrath. Again. I have a quad. Does it have a name? It does. I know it has a name, but I don't know what the name is. This is the one that has all 4 special shades. And I got this one on purpose because I knew there was no way I was going to get a Mothership palette. There are $200 here. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's just not. So when I saw that they had a palette of all special shades, it was easy to figure it out what I was going to buy. So yeah, that's what I have. It's not going anywhere. It's got a happy home here on its base, and it's going to stay there. You'd think it was Christmas with all the shimmer that I'm wearing. Okay, Natasha Denona. I think I'm going to give this one is palette number 3. I think I'm going to give this one more year. This one is pretty much the blues that I can wear. I want to say easily, but for me easily is everybody's, you've got to be kidding. It's kindergarten stuff. But for me it is. I need something that I can work with instead of the dark blues, and like, really, yeah, I think it's going to be okay for another year. I love wearing this in winter. It's my perfect winter palette. And here I have this one very old By Terry palette that I do not want to get rid of. I got it off of Glambot. It doesn't look like much. It really doesn't look like anything, actually. But when you swatch it, it's a different story. Like, yes, it was not made properly because getting even a small eyeshadow brush in there is difficult. But look at this has got to be at least 4 years old. And look at how beautiful those shades are. Now, the other by Terry palettes, and I already decluttered the other one I had, the shadows were not good. I don't know what happened to their formula. I guess their chemist had the patent for that formula and left and took the formula with him or her, or they or them. But all I know is that their formula has not gotten better. If anything, I feel for them because that is an amazing formula. Okay, 2 more Natasha Denonas. I've got this mini glam palette, which has not been used enough. Let's see. And it's beautiful. These are my shades. Why am I not using it? Because I'm not doing my makeup, because I'm a dodo. And then I've got the mini retro. Yeah. And again, I should have used this summer, and I didn't, and I don't know why. I mean, good grief, Bridget. Get it together. And then I've got my Lonely Little Dior. My Dior. I've got 1 Dior. And I'm hoping to very soon get 1 Chanel. But it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's not going anywhere. Not nowhere. Not no how. Alright. These. I was introduced to these by Amanda Z. Now, I got those off of Amazon for $5, $6. I had a couple more, but they died along the way. They just stopped being creamy. And I'm scared to look because that's probably how these are right now. I don't know about the US, but I know that here they are not in our drugstores. Even though these are Revlon. And now on Amazon, these are oh, I'm lucky with this one. I mean, look at that. And it even has a mirror, for heaven's sakes. For the price of these, they are amazing for an everyday look. I know it's difficult to do swatches when your hand is full of glitter, but I am so happy that one's good. Oh, I didn't give you a name. I should give you a name so you can find it on Amazon. Precious Metals. And then this one is Not Just Nudes. They have a couple more, and I will try to find... Ooh, this is close. Close, but it's still going. Just give it a little revive. Not the best swatches, but they're nice. I mean, for heaven's sakes, for the price. I have looked on Amazon.com and they are still in the $6, $7 range. This is just Canada that's messed up. When it comes to pricing, Canada is off the deep end. You guys down south on the wrong side of the border, you have no idea how lucky you are when it comes to pricing. You guys are very lucky because here it's outrageous. I mean, last year I saw the mini, what was it? Okay, there was one thing off Sephora, which was $50, and it kept creeping up, and it's $65 now. Like, seriously? Okay. LH Cosmetics. The new Golden 20s. A very neutral palette, a very beautiful palette. Absolutely gorgeous. I've had it for maybe a year. And these are products that can be worn all over the face. Beautiful. Not going anywhere. Wayne Goss. This is the Imperial Topaz. Last time I checked on his website, which was a couple months ago, this was still there. So he's not stopped making them or selling them, unless this is back stock on his website. But this is an actually beautiful palette. And I was able to get this off of Glambot as well. I mean, I should try this for fall. Okay, I'm going to do that because I'm working on trying to get a fall palette, a fall look together. I'm going to leave this here for now. But yeah, I'm working on a fall, trying to get stuff together for a fall look. And when I did my blushes yesterday, I got the blush I was going to use. And now I've got the palette. So we're doing well, and I am very, very shimmery. Okay. I'm just a disco ball. It's a good thing I like shimmer. Okay, let's try Tom Ford, see if my legs can keep up for a little bit longer. This is Sexapalooza, I think. Photosynthesex. Ah, good grief. Okay. This is my very first Tom Ford palette. Not the first one I would have chosen, but that was the only one that was available. And it was on super duper discount, which is why I bought it. But as far as I was concerned, it's Tom Ford. You can't go wrong. And if I want, I can just do a one shadow look. Like, yeah. She be staying. She be staying. Another Tom Ford. This one is Honeymoon. Look at that. Wow. She be staying. Okay, I have 3 Charlotte Tilbury. The first one, Pillow Talk, was my first foray into Charlotte Tilbury, and it seemed that I got one that had hard pan from the get-go, because this one never seemed to work properly. I don't know why, but that's how it was. My battery's about to die. Great. This one is the Rebel. And I got to be careful with this one because it's cracked. And this is very much a green palette. And this would be a good fall palette as well. And it is beautiful. And then the Dolce Vita. I think this is my favorite. This is absolutely gorgeous. This would be also a very beautiful fall palette. Okay, 2 palettes left in this holder. Battery needs to change and my back needs a break, so I shall return. Okay, I tried to finagle things a little bit better, and as you can see a little bit from this angle, this is what I was working on previously, and I still have 2 that belong in this small palette display. And then the last of the eyeshadow palettes. So this one is Rowan 52 Degrees, and it's the one that I am hoping beyond hope that is still good, because it's the cool toned one, and it would seem that the angels on high are liking me. I'm going to put it this way. And the only problem with having finagled everything is that I see with more difficulty because I've got a ring light in my way. But look at how beautiful that is. Yeah, I need to put makeup on. Okay, now this is the other one, 1111, that I have. This, yeah, it can be warmed up. It's a little more difficult, but it can still be warmed up. The way I'm going, it doesn't look like I'm decluttering more than what I already had before. Oh, yeah, I'm glad that, yeah, I can definitely make it work. Like, these are fabulous. Yeah, thank you, Rowan. Actually, I got those from BoxyCharm way back when. I think I got one from Glambot, actually, but I don't remember half of what I got where. Now, this palette is my most recent palette, and it's definitely not going anywhere. I need to use it and reuse it, and maybe even do a fall look with it. And it's the Ghost Town USA from Nomad Cosmetics, and it's beautiful. But I think the only fall look that I can really do is with the greens. I don't, yeah, that's me, but let's see if I can finagle a couple of colors for you. I mean, Nomad, really? Ha! Beautiful. I've been coveting it since last year, and I finally got it. And yeah, it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait. Okay, this next one. Ugh. An amazing YouTuber gave me this. It's no longer available. It's a skinny dip from JOLIE Cosmetics. And this is fabulous. Fabulous. And it's getting a little hard panish, but I'm not giving it up ever. Ever, ever, ever. And yes, her channel will be linked down below, because she is fabulous. I mean, this looks shinier and more fabulous than the Ghost Town USA, and this is not young. Like, seriously, JOLIE, bring it back. Bring it back. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's worth it. It's beautiful, and I love to use it as a one and done shadow. I really, really do. Okay, so this is the Sigma palette that I kept, the Ambiance. And I do not take out brushes from palettes because I don't want to be losing them. And I'm trying to hold this so that I don't blind you in the process. I'm blinding myself, but I don't want to blind you. So let's take a couple. Yeah. If you remember looking at the JOLIE, there's no comparison. I mean, yes, these are nice shimmers, but the JOLIE, that one's out of this world. I almost decluttered this palette, and then I believe I heard Melissa talk about it's one of her favorites, and I tried it again and I kept it. Melissa, stop influencing me. This is an empty palette, so we skip that. And this is, we are into my Natasha Denona now, and this is my Zendo palette, which I have actually been thinking about decluttering, because these, as beautiful as they are very colorful. And it's not being used, and it's going to waste. Am I going to do it? I have these colors. I have these colors in my ghost town. All right. All right. Okay. Did not see that coming. Not in a million years. Retro. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this. These are the pinks that I crave. Purples not so much, but definitely pinks. Definitely the pinks that I crave. And yeah, this one is definitely a keeper. Okay, now we are going into a palette that I coveted since the date came out, and I was able to get it last year, or this year. It's been a year, and that is the Glam. So I finally was able to get it, and it's not going anywhere, ever, ever. This is the best cool toned eyeshadows I have ever come across, even the pink. Even the pink. Seriously. I should actually put this one to the test against the JOLIE. And then I've got the I Need a Nude palette. And it makes me want and think about the I Need a Warm palette, because that one is beautiful as well. But do I need warm shadows? Not really. Absolutely beautiful. She be staying. There be another one staying. Okay, another evening of being completely glittery. I think I'm just going to do a couple more. Okay, I've got actually 3 Glamlight palettes. And this is the Dirty Martini, which I really don't use. I don't know why. Maybe because I think it's too colorful? I don't know. Like, they're beautiful. This one should go in a chopping block. And I have a chopping block bin right beside me, but I gotta keep it here for now. Okay, so it's gonna go in a chopping block. And then I've got my Chucky, my really dark Chucky. Don't ask me to watch the movie. That's not gonna happen. I can't handle horror films. My nervous system just can't. So I will get my fill of horror in an eyeshadow palette. I can watch documentaries about murders, murder mysteries, all that stuff. That's not a problem because that's informative. It's the suspense I can't deal with. But look at that. Yes, Chucky, he be staying. He's not going anywhere. And then I have Hershey's Cookies and Cream. And this is my want to use blue eyeshadow self that just for some reason I'm mixing colors. Oh well. Let's see. Gonna be a little disjointed, but that's okay. It's absolutely beautiful. It's not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna keep this for a little bit. Yep, we are. Okay, let's see if I can do a few more palettes before the body gives out again. This video has been in the making for a few days because the body just can't. Okay, next palette is my one and only 6 pan from Pat McGrath, Mothership Rose Decadence. It's the only one I have of the 6 pans, and it's beautiful. It is very beautiful. I do not want to get rid of it. Nope, not at all. Not at all. And it still seems to swatch beautifully. You can't see, you can't. No, it's my eyes not working. Okay. See, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's not as beautiful as some of my other palettes. Is it me, or is Pat McGrath a little bit overrated? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, this palette I coveted and coveted and coveted, and I finally was able to get it. Lorac Pro Palette Noir. Okay, and unfortunately I have not used it nearly enough. It's an absolutely gorgeous palette, and you can take away from this that the I have not used it enough is pretty much what should be the title of this video. It's a theme, but whether I put it as the title is a different matter, but it's definitely a theme. And it's not for lack of will, it's for lack of, okay, maybe will can be used in this matter, but definitely lack of motivation. And part of that lack of motivation is life in general. And as much as I wish I could linger on every palette, I tend to not, because first of all I'm standing, and second of all the idea of bringing all of these palettes back and forth, even though it's only like 20 steps to my filming room and no stairs included, is quite daunting, believe it or not. I know that for most people that is not a daunting task, but for this body, even though it's really not that old, it is quite daunting. Okay, ColourPop Set in Stone. This is one palette I have actually, oh yes, I did use it once. And it's, this was a trio set. They didn't sell it as a set, but it came with 3 palettes, and the next palette is why I had no problem with decluttering my Patrick Ta. But it's beautiful. It's not any less beautiful than the Pat McGrath palette, which I just swatched. So why should I keep the Pat McGrath palette other than I want to? It's beautiful. It's a drugstore price tag. So, oh, Twist of Slate. Okay, I did not, okay, I lied. I totally lied. I do not have the mimicked palette of Patrick Ta, and I remember now I didn't buy it because I had the Patrick Ta. Be that as it may, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have this one, Twist of Slate. It only has 4 shimmers, and I'm not happy with that, but what can I do about it? I don't make these. ColourPop makes these. And they decide. But seriously, I should almost put this palette up against my Noir palette and see what happens. Because it's beautiful. And the funny thing about ColourPop is I used to covet everything they had. And I got rid of at least half of my ColourPop palettes because most of them were old. But I don't seem to be coveting any of their palettes anymore. Nothing of their new stuff coming out is something that I seem to want. I don't know why. Maybe it's no, I don't know why. I really don't. Okay, this is Let's Get Nude from Gloss Gods. It's my only Gloss Gods palette. The one I really wanted, they were out. So I caved and got this one. And I've only used it the one time. But it's not the cool tone palette that I actually wanted, which is probably why. But don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. Look at that. Now, that's what I strive to find all the time. That is what I'm a shimmer girl. I could have only shimmers, no mattes, I'd be happy. Happy as the proverbial. But that's not how it works. It's the other way around. They give you mattes with very few shimmers. And I'm a 2-year-old having a tantrum in the aisle at the grocery store because I can't have the candy. Okay, so there's that one. Now, I have 2 Beauty Bay palettes that also I had coveted for a couple of years, but I finally, even though they're not that expensive, for this is not necessarily the price tag of the palette. It's the fact that I'm not going to put in an order for only a palette. When you order something from the UK, when you're in Canada, you're going to put in at least $100, if not closer to $200. But the problem when you do that is you end up paying a third of that on top of it for duties. I think my order was $150 around there, and I ended up paying $45 in duties, $45 and change. So yeah, that's the big deal. It's like Moira, for example, I can't remember if they add it at the end in their basket total for shipping, in their shipping fees, or if it's part of the price. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've ordered from Moira, and I wish I could place an order in the near future to try a lot of their new things. And it's the same with ColourPop. You'd end up not paying customs fees, and that's the way it should be. And then there's the Smoky palette, and this is why I was able to declutter my Blowing Smoke. But if I can put in a ColourPop order, I will be replacing Blowing Smoke, even though I have this. Why? Because I want to. And this is another, oh, I swatched the topper. Let's try this blue gray. I mean, like, for heaven's sakes, very few people talk about Beauty Bay in North America, and there's no reason why we don't. There's no reason not to. We should be able to. They're absolutely fantastic. But there again, it's placing an order. I don't know what the customs works like for the US from the UK, but I know that from Canada it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And I think it's the same way the other way around. Okay. This, I believe, is the last palette I got from ColourPop. Not a box of chocolates. I think it was a year ago. Look how beautiful this is. Just this. I was influenced to buy this by Samantha March because she loves this palette. And it looked good. And I'm happy I got it. I mean, yeah, it's not cool tones, but it's also not orange. So this is absolutely beautiful. And I loves it. And this is my one and only Flower Beauty palette, which I am grateful to Melissa for. She was able to make it happen that I was able to buy this, and I am very grateful for that. And yes, I am putting her channel, which is growing exponentially for perfect reasons, because she is amazing. So go and subscribe to her channel and hit her notification bell after you do that to mine. She's amazing, she really is. And she's in France, so she has access to all the great stuff in Europe, all the perfect stuff that we can't get here. And she is an avid dog lover and continuously, forgive my words, continuously volunteers at a dog shelter in Spain. The work involved in that alone, wow. Okay, gonna cry now, so let's go to Of Quartz. Another beautiful palette that I am so happy I bought. This is another cool tone palette, which makes me think that the Set in Stone might be able to go. But look at those rosy tones. Rosy peach tones, rose gold tones, silver tones. Oh, I'm not going anywhere, but it's looking like it wants to be replaced. And then we've got By the Rosé. And this is so pretty. So very, very summery and light and pretty. Pretty is the word for this. Like, see this and Of Quartz together, they belong. It's almost like they took Blowing Smoke and By the Rosé to make Of Quartz. Okay, this is what happens when I have time to think and every day something gets decluttered. I have decided to let Set in Stone go because I'm really not going to use it. I have similar colors in other palettes and I don't use it. I just don't use it. So there we go. But I am keeping Twist of Slate for a bit longer. Okay. I don't even remember where I stopped. Okay, yes I do. I did Of Quartz. I did By the Rosé. Now let's go into that taupe. This is another one that I might have to replace because it's not young and it's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. But do I need that taupe and Of Quartz? Maybe. maybe. Oh, this is so hard. This is really, really hard. And it's not because I want all of the things. It's just what is the prettiest. I don't think I need both. I will keep both for now, but That's Taupe is the one I would keep first. Okay, that's Taupe is gone. I'm just gonna do that. Okay. I am so difficult. Petals on Point is so pretty. This is Ballerina. This is the Ballerina. This is the color of the tights I used to wear. Okay. Yeah, this is a very demure, summery, light makeup that needs a maxi, flowy, floral summer dress. That's the vision in my head. Going Coconuts. This would need to be replaced because it's more of a warm tone, but it's sad that it's only got 3 shimmers in it. Or do I really need it? Oh, I don't need that. Okay. Yeah, this is hard. This is hard. Okay, but these, the next one's coming up. That's not hard. Those are staying. I don't care if I've got 5 different colors, 5 different palettes that are identical. Those ones are not going anywhere. Nowhere, no how. And I don't remember which palette I said was on the chopping block. I said there was one, but I had to keep it in here. Oh, good grief. Okay, Darth Vader. Darth Vader. He's not going anywhere. Even though I have a red in Chucky, that doesn't matter. It be staying. It be staying. I mean, yeah. It's nice, but it's Darth Vader, for heaven's sakes. Luke, I am your father. Sorry. I am bad at stuff like that. But I couldn't stop myself. I had to because I'm a goof and it's fun. The child. Like Yoda. I'd sing the song, but I want you guys to keep watching me, so I'm not gonna sing it. This is a Super Shock, which is, I don't like Super Shocks in my eyeshadow palettes. I really don't. But I don't make them. So, and they don't consult me. So there's nothing I can do or say about that. I mean, and look at that duochrome. Yeah. Now, C3PO is very much a yellow palette, which is why I got rid of my other one. I can't believe they actually have 5 shimmers in here. Why couldn't they put 5 shimmers in all of them? Very summery. I don't use it, but I don't care. I don't care. It's C3PO. He's like a golden god. And if you guys have not watched the movies, that's part of the movie. If you have not watched the movies, please go watch them. I remember being 10 years old, standing in line at the Nelson Theater when the movie came out to go watch it with my parents. Yeah, and then we've got the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. I mean, this is beautiful too. This is so beautiful. Why do I not wear them? I know why I don't wear them, because I don't put on makeup nearly enough. Like, another duochrome. Like, seriously. Not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Alright, now I gotta remember which one was on the chopping block. I actually think it was a Charlotte Tilbury. So, let's do a quick count. We've got 44. Did I only get rid of 6? Oh, okay. I hadn't counted the 3 others. I hadn't counted the 3 others that I decluttered ahead of time. So 44 palettes is still a lot. 43 if I figure out which one is on the chopping block. That's still a lot of palettes. I mean, granted, at least half of them are small, and I don't have big 50 pan palettes, but it's still about... That doesn't even include my entire drawer of singles, and that's why I can't wrap my head around what I need to use. And that's why it's so important for me to figure it out, even though I still want another handful of eyeshadow palettes. Like, I would love the I Need a Warm. There's the cool toned one that I want from here. I would love one from there's one, Adept Cosmetics. I want one Chanel palette. You guys get the idea. you guys get the idea. So I think we're done here. I think we're done. I think the last thing I need to do is do my finish my inventory and give you guys a glimpse into what all of my drawers look like in one shot, as opposed in one clip, as opposed to video by video. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I want to see if I can show you my collection. I think it's been a long time since I've done this. So I've got my little beautiful rack of small eyeshadow palettes right there on a, I don't know, nail polish rack, and that seems to work. I like being able to see them like that instead of having them at the end of a row. I didn't like the way that was. I found it difficult to choose. Not like, I have enough troubles figuring out what I want to use, so let's make it easier. So there's the eyeshadows, and then I've got some complexion products here. Everything is going down, but that's not a bad thing. It just means it's what I prefer. And some itty bitty things on the side there. Just trying to make sure everything is organized in as little space as possible. And then here we've got the bronzers, the highlighters, and the face palettes. And I like the fact that it's not squished. that everything is visible quite easily, and we shall see how that is in the blushes, because that was packed tight. It's getting a little darker because the light is so much higher now. Let's see. There we go, a little bit better. So there are the blushes. I can actually see things because I couldn't before. And we've got Amazon and we've got Asian Beauty. But yeah, no, the blushes, I couldn't see anything before, and it was even harder. So hopefully I'll be able to get a Shop My Stash done soon. I've started with the updates on my spreadsheet, and this I still marvel at how many I have. I did not realize how many I had when they were separated in different smaller drawers until I got them into this big drawer all together. Yeah, that's a lot, and there's still a handful I wouldn't mind getting. And then the lips. The lips isn't bad, which is a good thing, because there's only so many variations of a simple color that can be made. So I'm pretty happy with this. And the final, this is where everything is, in 6 drawers. It was before in 5 drawers, but I had to use the 6th drawer for the lips because the 5th took up all my eyeshadows. But that's okay. This is not too bad. This is not too bad. I want this to be my job. I want this to become an income. That's my dream. I don't know if it will happen. It hasn't happened in 4 years. I'm patient. Which is probably why I get so depressed, because it would be a dream come true to be able to do this. And even if it does become my job, I don't want it to get beyond this, because I would be sorting things out separately and keeping only what I can deal with. Be that as it may, it's a dream. I can dream. We all can dream. This is my collection. Thank you, everybody. In the meantime, thank you, everybody, once again for coming to visit with me. Please leave me a comment, like my video, and subscribe to my channel. À bientôt.